to go with the start of our race. One driver with issues in the 300 having issues, but we go on to the main straightaway. Nathan Golseth there, side by side, green flag in the air. We are racing. Golseth able to get to the lead. Smith looking to take it away into turn number one. He's able to get it done. Golseth drops the tire. Everybody going side by side. Golseth having to slot back in at third. Chris Tracy there looking on the inside of Golseth. He's able to get clear. Golseth losing a couple of spots here to start this one out. Contact further back. Fink gets together with Criddle. Criddle not happy with that at all.
Yeah, you saw Golseth almost get stuck on the edge of the track like we've seen a few drivers do earlier in the day. So he loses a few positions there. You had Smith just barrel his way into the lead, so a good start from him. And Arana, Chris Tracy, the teammates, falling closely behind. So they're coming around to start the second lap, I would say. Smith able to get the jump on Golseth on the start.
Yeah, he was able to have a good jump there and set that up quite nicely, starting from the outside. It seemed like Golseth was struggling for grip there in the first couple of corners and lost a couple of spots. Unfortunately, had to pay for it there, but Thomas Smith looking, and Nathan Golseth able to go through on Chris Tracy. He's up to the third spot, and Smith tapping the back of his helmet, wanting the help here from Robert Arena.
We'll see how fast Nathan Golseth can catch up to these two right here, because he's had a lot of pace all weekend. And with a driver like Chris Tracy from behind, if he can get a push, he'll catch up even quicker, or if not, even just tow Chris Tracy back up to the lead with that help of the draft. So we'll see what happens in the next few laps. Smith and Arana, though, doing very good up in front of just pushing. Arana, a driver who's been running 206 Junior for a good minute now, and running it back in the cadet classes too. So he knows, as I eat my words, he goes down the inside of Smith to take the lead, as Smith kind of tries to do the over-under and gives a little bit of a bumper there. Probably not by purpose, but puts two wheels on the grass, and Nathan Golseth comes to the inside. They're 3 wide. Make contact, and Arana gets half spun, gets back going again, loses a handful of positions. Shelby Ramirez capitalizes and goes third place.
And being at the right place at the right time has definitely played off there for Nathan Golseth. Arana looking to go through on his teammate and Tracy. He's able to get it done, but 3 wide in a turn number 2 in 206 Junior is absolutely insane there, and Golseth emerges at the point of the field. Smith falls back to second. Shelby Ramirez, how about it? She's up in the third here, and what's been an up and down weekend for her, to say the least. She's had a good showing. She was the most recent 206 Junior race winner out in Crescent, over under the field, and got the win there. And now she's closing in on Thomas Smith. So we'll see what Shelby Ramirez has got in store in her Valley Truck Company TB Card South machine, the R2 Racing machine as well. So they're still going around, and then further back with your 206 heavies. And we talk about Valley Truck, we talk about R2 Racing, we talk about TB Card South. Christopher White in the lead of that race, ahead of Madison Knox and Nick Miller, who's in third here at the moment. So White having a good showing, to say the least.
It's also been Madison Knox with the lead for the most of this weekend, but these three have been tightly knitted all weekend long, showing us that even though the field is small, they can still race very nice and clean. So Chris White now with the lead. You have Nick Miller who's pushing along. So they're all really not fighting right now. You saw them all push together. There's nobody behind for them to fight with. So it's really just them trying to work together, because there's no point in fighting right now. They're already at the front of the pack. They can just work together until the timer runs out, and then they can settle positions on the last 2 laps if they want to. Shelby Ramirez now looking as best as she has all weekend, right out on the back of Smith, getting pulled along, and also just making up ground on Golseth. So they were at 7/10 last time by. It's getting a lot closer now. Golseth look over his shoulder. It's 3/10 gain this time by. So Smith gaining rapidly on Golseth. Shelby Ramirez following closely in third. She was our race winner, as you said, from last round. We'll see if she can do a repeat of that, because I think this is the highest she's been all weekend on this start.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's definitely the highest she's been all weekend long as well, from Emily Angel, who's in the 5th spot for the AR Academy, and for Green as well, finds himself in the 4th spot. So a lot of these drivers, with that incident in between Arena and Smith, finds himself further back in the field again. Under investigation there, Thomas Smith, for the incident with Robert Arena and Nathan Golseth that prompted Golseth into the lead. So that'll be looked at post-race and given, I guess, dealt with accordingly. But for now, Smith provisionally in P2 and chasing down Nathan Golseth. And doing a good job so far. A lot of pace in his machine, but consistency for Golseth has definitely been the name of the game to get himself and to maintain his half-a-second gap ahead of the CRG right behind him.
sometimes it might be a little hard to tell when you're going 3 wide, as we see. I think that is the 309 of Green going down the inside of Shelby Ramirez, as well as Angel going down on the inside of her as well. So Ramirez loses 2 positions, goes all the way down to 5th place, getting pressure from Arana as well. But that 3 wide incident we had, perhaps Arana on the outside just couldn't tell if they were 3 wide. That happens sometimes before you see drivers get sandwiched like that. He points, pretty sure that's Angel getting pointed forward by Green to go and lead them forward to try and catch up to Smith. Smith still within a shot of Golseth. He lost about a 10th there last time by, so we'll see what happens when we come down on the checkered again. Timing updates every time when they come around, so it was a 10th gain in the favor of Golseth last time. We'll see as they cross the line this time, it will be the exact same. So nothing really gained or lost there from Smith, and they're all still falling to try to kill this time.
Yeah, Smith's tapping the back of his helmet there, asking Angel for a little bit of a push, but unfortunately not close enough there for Maui to really give that push to Thomas, and he is close enough now, and continuing to everybody tapping forward in unison there, back of the helmet, pointing forward, and we'll see how much they want to work together if they do want to switch positions. So they're happy to chase down Nathan Golseth and not let him get away in this game.
Yeah, so now that Smith has Angel there to work together, they're probably going to make more progress now on Golseth with a pushing partner. Angel also, it seems that this whole field has switched up now because there's a bunch of drivers that seem a lot more racy and way further up in the front, or not way further, but just up in the front than earlier in the weekend. So a really good 206 junior final here from all these drivers. So now when they come across the line this time by, it is the exact same again. So it's been stagnant so far. That third group of 3 trying to catch up as well. So Nathan Golseth by himself is faster than a group of 2 and a group of 3. And as I say that, you can see the draft coming into play. Smith now right on the bumper of Nathan Golseth, and they've caught him in just 1 straightaway.
Yeah, they've definitely done a good job to close down their gap to Nathan Golseth here and to get onto their bumper there. So it's just that half a car length between those 2 drivers, and looking to deny Golseth from perfect sweep in junior categories this weekend. Further back with your 206 heavies, Christopher White still leading them away. They're going side by side at the moment there. Christopher White on the bottom of the racetrack. Madison Knox on the top. Miller looking to push Knox through. Side by side, Madison Knox around the outside in her VLR. She's able to get to the point with trackside karting surfaces. And Christopher White, the TB Kart South R2 Racing team, going to slot back in the line there behind Madison Knox. And I mean, we saw the thing with Christopher White that was different for him. His line was a little bit more narrow going into the kink there, which was ultimately affecting him just that little bit. Now it seems to be working quite nicely and making whatever bit of adjustment he had to make. But back with your 206 juniors, Thomas Smith now on the rear bumper here of Nathan Golseth going into turn number 3.
Yeah, and as you see Shelby Ramirez go down the inside of, I believe that was Green there. Did they make contact?
Green goes into the grass. Green was into the gravel there for a second, able to rejoin the racetrack there, but Ramirez wanted to go for that move. She's ahead of Angel as well, so behind Angel, but again, she was able to get through. Arena got through as well, but that was probably going to be looked at as well after the race with a little bit of contact in between those 2 drivers of Ramirez and Green. So race continuing to go on. Nathan Golseth still leading by a car length.
Yeah, Golseth doing a great job here up in the lead without a pushing partner, as you said. Still having that commanding lead. I mean, it was 3/10 last time by, 3/10 this time by. So though those 2 drivers have the draft, it's still pretty hard to catch up to Nathan Golseth in the corners. Shelby Ramirez and Robert Arana, 2 drivers that are pushing together right now, trying to catch up. You see Smith now go down the inside of Nathan Golseth. They both get down the inside. Both Angel and Smith get on the inside of Nathan Golseth, demote him to P3.
Yeah, Smith able to get to the lead. Now Angel in second for the AR Academy, and then the Arcade Motorsports driver and Nathan Golseth in the 3rd spot, looking to close in on these 2 drivers side by side now for Maui, who's Nathan Golseth going to choose to go with. It's going to be with Maui. Smith looking to hold on to it around the outside, has to brush the brakes here a bit because Golseth was coming in hot there.
Yeah, that was pretty close there. You saw him jam on the brakes to try and give Golseth through because it was really tight there coming through that kink before the pole. So your new leader, Angel, as I see Golseth go down the inside of Angel to take the lead. So he points forward again. They have 5 minutes left to go, so it's coming down to the closing stages of this race. Your top 3 still very close. Shelby Ramirez and Robert Arana trying really hard to try and catch up to those leaders.
Pass for the race lead in 206 heavy. Christopher White has retaken it here in the second and last hairpin. He was able to go through. Madison Knox falls back to the second spot. So the Value Truck Company TB kart going to lead us away here, and Nathan Golsath going to lead us away in 206 Junior. They're going side by side there in heavy. Madison Knox going on the outside and not going to be close enough to get it done. Looking to set up an over-under. Miller looking to work with her, but they're going side by side there. And Miller going to slot back in the line. We look back on with our 206 Juniors that are bumper to bumper there for a second. White looking to fade low to defend here from Madison Knox, taking the normal racing line. They're going side by side. It gets close here, wheel to wheel. Madison Knox looks to set up the over-under. She gets into the rear of Christopher White. That could have ended badly there for Knox, who was 2 wheels in the air. And that was close, but gives Christopher White a little bit of a gap at the front end. You talk about gaps non-existent here in 206 Junior between Maui Angel and Nathan Golsath.
Yeah, a bit of a hiccup, but a good save not to waste any more time getting back underway by Madison Knox. So you see your 2 leaders out in front. They have dispatched Smith into the realm of Ramirez and Arana, so that group of 3 now needs to work back up the lead and help. The best he's looked all weekend in this race, so working together with Nathan Golsath, a handful of pace. We'll see what happens when we get down to the 2.6 to go. I think he's just going to be happy with pushing Golsath, as he knows he's been the leader all weekend. There's nobody that is relatively quicker than Golsath, so if that is your pushing partner, you're definitely with the right pushing partner. So this second group here now with Smith, Ramirez, and Arana all working together. You see Smith tap his head. Everybody seems to agree, but we'll see if they agree when they get down to the back straight with this big run. As I say that, Shelby Ramirez now pulls down the inside with Arana, so they're both working together to get around Smith and down to the inside. Smith covers the door, tries his best to squeeze Shelby Ramirez down to the apex. Smith holds onto that P3 position, so a really good little defensive driving from there to hold the outside on Ramirez. Arana gets a spot on Ramirez as well, so it is Smith, Arana, and Ramirez 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, everybody still holding together here for Smith, Arana, and Ramirez. Arana was up there and fighting for the race. Heat wins there earlier on today. He's going to go side by side with Smith. Arena's able to get through. They hook bumpers. Those 2 get together, and they're going to slow down a lot. Smith hooked the rear bumper there of Arana, and he loses a lot of time. Ramirez is able to take advantage and go through, so she's back up into the 4th spot and on the edge of the podium. Smith looking to the bottom of the racetrack in turn number 1. He's looking to get through. He's clear that time around.
Hey, you said the edge of the podium. I think the gloves are already off for the 3rd place position, because they're really not focusing on working together to go forward anymore. I mean, I don't know if they would be able to go forward because of how efficient these 2 up in front are. It's really hard to catch them whenever you don't have a visual marker seeing yourself making any progress. So they've decided to start fighting amongst themselves for the final forms on that podium. But your 2 leaders up in front working completely peacefully together. No changes for the lead. Angel still in 2nd, pushing Golsath around. So Smith and Ramirez 4th and 5th. We'll see if Ramirez tries to push Smith back up to Arana or get around. It'd be in her favor as of right now, because, or in her favor to push Smith, because as of right now, he's right there. So if they don't catch Arana, her best finishing position can still be 4th. So it's just a really good idea right now to try and catch back up those 2 to even get a chance of getting on that podium.
Yeah, definitely going to be critical for all these drivers to try and hold on to the spots that they got. And we go back to 206 heavy. The lead has changed once again. Madison Knox has been able to get to the point. Christopher White falls back to 2nd. Nick Miller staying there in 3rd and looking to close down his gap. That's Christopher White looking to close in, a little bit narrow on the exit. Going to scrub off a lot of speed there for White, unfortunately, and Miller looking around the outside on White to set up an over-under, get himself up to 2nd. That worked out quite nicely. White looks to move to the bottom, and Maverick loses a lot of time there in the 3rd spot, so that's not going to fall into his hands, and that was unfortunate there. We move back with our 206 Juniors. Nathan Golsath going through the last couple of hairpins now into the 2nd to last hairpin there. He's able to get through. Everybody else, Arana there further back. Knox there as well. Here we go with Nathan Golsath. Half a car length in between them. 42 seconds to go here left in this one, Rocco.
Yeah, it's probably going to be 2 laps to go next time by. So these 2 leaders now completely gone from the rest of the field. They're 4 seconds from the next quickest guy in 3rd of Arana. And Arana has a 2nd gap between him and 4th. So he's pretty comfy on the podium right now as long as he keeps it clean. And those guys behind him don't work together too much to catch back up to him. As it seems right now, they are still fighting quite a bit. So your 2 leaders up in front working together flawlessly. They'll get the 2.6 to go this time by, and when those 2.6 fly up in the air, you'll see a completely different mindset from Angel. He'll stop working together with Golset and really try to work against them.
He's definitely going to try and continue to push it again for Maui Angel. If I'm not mistaken, this could be his career best finish if he's able to hold on to the podium here. Being in second has definitely showed a lot of pace so far this weekend. 2.6 in the air. The fight is on, and Nathan Golset, very similar to what we saw with Robert Arena yesterday, telling Maui to continue to push forwards and continue to get away from the rest of the field. They're 5 seconds up on Arena, actually. So this is looking good for Nathan Golset, and further back, Madison Knox as well has a pretty good gap ahead of Christopher White.
Yeah, gloves are about to come off in this 206 junior class with 1.5 laps left to go. Angel is really trying to brainstorm a spot to make the move. There's only a few real overtaking spots on this track. You have the 2 hairpins in the final sector, and you have turn 3 after that long front straight. As you see now, you have Angel go down the inside of Golset on the straight, a huge run to get down on the inside of the bowl. So your new leader is Angel for the first time this week. Weekend, my mistake, and Golset now has to make that position back. Is he going to go down the inside of the hairpin? He is. Back to the inside goes Golset, and he gets crowded down to the bottom, has to go to the grass on the inside of the track, so Angel not giving it up easy.
Yeah, Golset was a little too far back that time around to get the move done, but he's going to have one more go at it here for the last couple of corners. What does Maui do? He's going to have to defend here. Does he go to the bottom? He doesn't. Look at a crowd. Golset looking to sneak his way through. Maui to the bottom side of the racetrack. Golset looking to set up an over-under. Maui went a little too deep there on the corner. Golset emerges at the point of the field. He's now going to have to defend here from Maui to try and hold on and sweep the junior classes here this weekend. He's able to get it done. That gap opens up to about a car length. Maui put up a fight. I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Golset's going to defend and hold off Maui Angel into the bowl. And Maui looking at the bottom of the racetrack. He's able to get it done there. Golset around the outside, looking to get it back here. Maui was able to get it done in the bowl. The AR Academy leading us away in 206 Junior. Golset has the run to the bottom of the racetrack. Looking on the inside. He's able to get clear. They go side by side, make a little bit of contact. Maui ends up on the grass. Golset's going to win provisionally here, but we'll see what happens and how it ends up in the end. Maui Angel definitely put up a great fight. Robert Arena finished